Now we need to ship it. We need to, we've picked it, we need to pack it, we need to ship it. So recommendations there on, again, ensuring timely and accurate deliveries. I mean, we're all being measured by Amazon these days, and the expectation is I need to get it just like Amazon gets it to me at my house. So we've got to be extremely efficient here. So thoughts on the packing and shipping process?
Yeah, so I mean, again, it's going to vary a lot by organization. I mean, we've got some customers that ship thousands of packages out a day, and they're
Right.
all sort of single item and very similar. And that's a very different process than shipping out, 3 pallets a day of the same item, those types of things. So it is going to vary quite a bit. But let's say it's sort of a mid-range, pretty traditional style warehouse where we're going out. We've got a few people picking, they pick the product, they bring it over to packaging, somebody packages it up and gets it out the door. That's probably a very large percentage of the people who use that type of process.
Right.
So with that, I mean, there's a few strategies. Again, one of them is, to actually pack while you pick. That's typically done more with pallets and things like that, but that is an option. So that when you get over to shipping, you know the packaging information. You've got a box that's basically packed that has some sort of label that identifies that order. Then I can ideally, with an integrated system, go beep, scan that box, and I get my shipping label. Right. So
Hmm.
that's one option. We actually do the packaging while we're picking. Alternatively, if I just want to pick everything, drop it off in a pile at the packaging station, then you want to consider whether you need that separate step to validate what you're actually packaging. And it's a bit of a trade-off because at that point, again, we want the physical verification. We don't want to just look at this, sort of brown box and go, yeah, that's the product, and package it up and go. Because it probably looks exactly the same as the brown box beside it. So if we want that physical verification a second time, so let's say I'm scanning out in the warehouse, and I'm scanning to pick, I I might decide that that's good enough and I don't need to do a second scan at shipping to indicate I've packaged that item. The downside, and again, that's going to be a warehouse by warehouse consideration. The downside is I could have dropped off those 2 boxes and I could package them in the wrong shipping package. So rescanning them is handy, right? So I
Hmm.
rescan everything to validate that I'm shipping it. And of course, for that, we want an integrated system in Business Central so that I can validate, yes, that order matches exactly what I scanned and I've packed it and everything and out the door it goes. But it is a trade-off because it's extra work to scan that item I'm packaging. Now, the trade-off, if you don't scan, is a missed shipment. I shipped the wrong product. That is
Hmm.
very expensive and time consuming because now
Right.
you've got multiple departments having to deal with this. You've got sales, you've got the warehouse again to receive the returned item. You've got maybe it escalates up to, management and things like that. You don't want that. And you're paying the shipping cost to bring the old item back. You're paying shipping to send the new, like you just don't want that. So having that ability to scan those barcodes to physically verify what you're packaging, very, very useful. It may seem like it
Mhm.
takes that extra time, but it could save you. Like one misship is, you know, there's your all your scanning costs paid for with a single misship.
Yeah.
Um, Now back to your actual question. That was a bit of a random thing. Lots of strategies there. So one is packaging while you're picking, but the high volume guys are going to use conveyors. You might use a dimensioner where you pack it in any size box you want. You don't have to care. You slap it on a dimensioner that measures the size of the box and the weight, and you've got everything you need to get your rates and get it out the door. Those types of things are possible as well.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and I mean, for the higher volume people, the rate shopping isn't really applicable. Ideally, you want, the carrier predefined from the e-commerce site or something like that, so you can get the label as quickly as possible.
Right.
But, for the larger, for the maybe not lower volume, but the more cost conscious people may want to do some rate shopping, either automatically or manually select the carrier to get the
Hmm.
lowest rates. Those types of things are kind of nice to have add-ons, I guess, in a shipping solution.